All right, guys, Bottle Rocks 321 here. Here I have the vintage Estes FIREAERO. I had this kit. I bought it used a little while ago on OfferUp. It was missing some fins and stuff, but I was able to get it back, get it built anyway, and pretty nice. Just here, got it all masked off. I got the green on there. I got the fluorescent green. The cone from the about a inch and a half part body tube heading up through the nose cone is all yellow, and the rest of the body is this fluorescent green color. The decals were old. I was afraid if I put them in water they would bust apart. I used a spray clear coat. I used to spray it on. They still busted apart. Older ones on a different rocket. But I went on and used a liquid decal film by Microscale. Don, shout out to Don at Retro Rockets. He was like, go on and use this right. He recommended it. I had this stuff all around. I just always skipped out on painting it on, but this time I did, and I'm glad I did. I think it's going to work. I'm gonna do another coat. I don't think it matters how many coats, just as long as you got them sealed in and it'll hold together these older decals. So here we have it. I'm going to go on and start taking this masking off. And the masking tape I use, other than the stuff you see on the outside, I use Tamiya. That stuff works great. I highly recommend it. Don't use that blue tape. Don't use that blue masking tape unless it's for your house and walls and stuff like that. If you want a nice sharp line, use this yellow Tamiya tape. You can see a line right there. Not that yellow, that's the paint, but the other line will be crisp and very nice because of the masking tape I used. I used to use the blue stuff, and you will get some, it will bleed. You will get some bleed with that. I did try everything with the blue, and I would get bleeding, and you don't have a nice sharp line. But with the Tamiya, you get that nice sharp line. See, the nose cone came off, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I get, there we go. There we go. So here we go. We got the nose cone off. And I still have the yellow Tamiya tape on there. So I'm going to peel that off right now. I got this hanger in here, this clothes hanger. Let's go get that off here. All right, so here we go. This has been on here for a few hours. The yellow was done a few days ago. The green was done, a few hours ago. So look at that. Nice sharp line, like I was saying, definitely highly recommend. Wow, that's a nice sharp line. Little crooked there, but other than that, pretty clean line. So use that. And I'm gonna tell you, I painted the whole rocket yellow. You may see a hint of yellow around here. The whole rocket was painted yellow, and then I went on and hit it with the neon because I thought it would brighten it up, and it kind of did. It gave it a unique look. Like you can see some of the yellow still showing. Now I decided to stop painting it because I do kind of like that yellow showing under there like that. It's kind of cool. So really bright color. So in this land, there should be no problem with finding this unless it's in some high brush. And in my field out there, that's all trimmed pretty low, but it can dip behind, some of the brush that's out there or something. But as long as you're keeping your eye on where they're going and spotting them pretty good, you'll find everything. So, all right, so I'm going to get this hanger off here. I use this hanger method, clothes hanger, stuck inside of a spent engine casing. And that should come off really good. Like I said, this is a vintage kit. It's a very old rocket. Just, it's sitting there not built. So this guy I bought it from had some kits. They weren't his. I don't know I'm not sure where he got. I think he said he acquired them and he wasn't doing anything with them. Most of them were opened and kind of beat up. So I went on and rescued this guy. I had to make a few of these fins because it was missing. It's one of them deals of just be careful. When I asked the guys, is everything in here? He said, yeah, everything's in there. I got home, I opened it up, and it was missing some fins or whatever. But yeah, this looks really cool right here. This is just a FIREAERO, just like the package for the most part. These decals, I'm gonna do another coat of the Microscale, or maybe another 2 coats, and let that dry overnight. Then I'll come on back and start applying the decals, and that is where we are right now. It's Bottle Rocks 321. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, use my coupon code over at Estes. Get yourself a discount. Estes, vintage, classic company, been around forever. This is a very old kit right here. But Estes been around since I've been buying this stuff since I was 9 years old, or into the hobby since I was 9 years old. And so I come from way back then, and it's good to be working with them. Use the coupon code. You see it on the screen. It's down in the link below. Go straight to the website, put that in there, get yourself a discount. Something you've been wanting on, some engines, motors, kits, starter sets, gifts, whatever. Go on and go over to Estes Rockets and use my code. All right, so here we go. So right now I'm going to apply a couple coats of Microscale decal film. Just paint it over there. I already have like 2 coats on here, so I'm just going to hit it right now with a couple more. I'm going to do 1, let that dry, then I'll come back. I'm going to go to the edge just so no water don't seep under. I don't want any water to get where it's not supposed to be. So it's going to do another couple back and forths. I'm going to seal the Estes logos. I wasn't going to seal them, but I'm going to seal them all. So I already started. So I'm just going to do the main part first, and I'll come back and do that. Just drip right there, but we'll be fine. I'm going to make sure I get it all. Yeah, I'll go back over and do those. Probably should have just did them all. Let me begin. It's just a long ride, and I'm trying to put enough on where it's thick enough, but smooth. Let's go over this area once more. So yeah, get yourself, if you make decals, use micro scale. I was always, when I was making decals like years ago, I would, use my Photoshop, Illustrator, use the software, and then I would just spray them. I would spray coat them. I forget where I learned that technique, but I would spray clear coat them, and it worked out. It was working. But recently with these older ones, these are more that you got to. This is more restoring decals, like using this film. I guess when you're trying to spray clear coat, it just didn't work. It busted apart on that Federation Star Probe. I cleared them, and I was like, I tried a little piece at first. I cleared them, and I thought that it was good. But when I put bigger pieces in there, they cracked and they just messed up. So hopefully, I'm hoping that this worked. This is my first time using micro scale to seal up some decals. It says that's what it's for, so I'm gonna trust it. I believe this is what Tango and all the other decal people use. Plus Don at Retro Rockets. Be sure to follow Retro Rockets too. Don, he does some not restores. He does some cloning and building some classics. Does really nice work. So check out Retro Rockets. All right, guys, we are back. Now it's time to apply the decals. As you can see, we have this striped decal here that will go on part of this yellow section right there. Also have the name FIREAERO right here, and there's also a Estes logo. So I clear coated these old decals because they're known to blow apart when they are old like this from the 80s. So I sealed them, as you saw. So I have this Estes one. I'm going to start with a small one first, and we're going to see how that goes, and that should tell me and determine if the rest will be fine. So I have my solution right here. I have water. This is plain water, somewhat room temperature, but a little warm, and I added a little detergent. Hopefully that don't affect anything. I've been doing that for a little while. It seems to be fine, so we'll go with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna use this. I have this brush here. I also have this 1-inch foam sponge. I have Q-tip just in case, and I keep some paper towel like that little piece near just to squeegee and to wipe away excess water and stuff like that. So we're gonna get started. Launch lug is here, so I'm gonna go opposite side of the launch lug. I'm gonna start probably, let me see, I think that on the image. So I'm gonna go, this fin right here is gonna have the Estes logo. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that by dipping. Go ahead and put this decal in here. Let it curl up really nice. Hopefully this goes well. I sealed them with the coat, a few coats. I put a few coats on there, so hopefully it should be sealed pretty well. Let's see what we got. Let that do its thing. It curled up right on me really quick, so we'll see. Let's see how that goes. It's gonna go right here. So I'm gonna wet this area also that I'm gonna apply it to. Oh yeah, that's nice and soft, so look like it worked. Let's see. As long as it don't break apart, I'll add some, just get that nice and wet. And you place the decal here, and you just wanna slide them off gently. They're old, even though it's sealed, still old. Oh, look at that. It's not trying to stick. Get this brush wet. Get off of here. Let me see. Come on. I've had them get kind of stuck once in a while. It seems like this one's trying to do that. Let me get a toothpick. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's on the edge. It's kind of stuck. So I'm going to cut. I think it gave the whole piece like a film. Cut right here. Yeah. Hopefully that sets me free. And the other side also, man. Ooh, this is giving me a little trouble. Kind of thin feeling. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to cut this other side also. So it seems like the edge has a lot of film and it wants to hold on. So I'm gonna go back in the water, and now we should be free. There we go. Now we're coming off. We're coming off nice and easy. Still gonna be gentle. This is the process. You don't wanna. There we go. That looks like a perfect placement for the Estes logo. Oh yeah, it's perfectly straight also, so I don't have to really do much. I can do a little squeegee, use this. These foam brushes are good for decals, like, but still be careful because they can be rough. They're soft but rough, so there we go. I like that. So like I said before, I come from, when I was making my own decals, a lot I would spray paint them. I clear coat them with some spray. And that always worked when I was making my own. But these I had never really dealt with old decals, so this is kind of a new process, and I learned from just with the film, like to use that. You know, Don, he was telling me like to use the at Retro Rocket, shout out to Retro, to use the film, like the film, and it works. It seems to give it a nice coating. So if this is an indicator of what's to come, we should be good. So that's the first Estes logo, and I see it still it has a square shape, so I'm going to trim this decal. Oh, I see what it. Okay, now I'm starting to learn more about this. So it's a film. It takes the whole shape, and it just kind of reseals them. So now I'm going to trim what I don't want, because the whole square is the decal now. So that's good to know. So there's always something to learn in this hobby. Like I said, this decal film, I always used it after the fact or something like that. Never really dealt with it much. I would spray clear coat mine. I was used to trimming those all the way down. So now I'm just going to trim this to the shape that I want. And I will throw this on the other side. I'll use it on the other side of the rocket. I was only planning on doing the one, but might as well use two. Be sure to use my discount code when you're shopping at Estes. So now I have a shape like that. Use my discount code when you shop at Estes. Go over there, use the code, get yourself something. You can get that Falcon 9, get a nice discount. I got mine and I used the code, and it was pretty nice deal. So there we have the decal there, and I'm gonna go, I guess, this side over here. I'm gonna do a side with the long slug. So put the next one right there. So same deal, go in, just let that hang out for a quick second. But yeah, pretty good. This one has a square around it, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. The next one won't have that. So just learning. Okay, so now I know that they're going to take the shape of whatever, because of the film just coated the whole, like, I trimmed the FIREAERO design, FIREAERO. I trimmed it, but I'm going to trim it a little closer because it didn't take the old mark. It created its own new mark. So that's good to know. So we're on that side. Yeah, and I'll put this guy on this side. So we'll go here, just get that a little wet, slightly wet, and then here we go. Let's see here, a couple more seconds. I still feel, and you just start to know, like I just know that needs a second or two, another second or two. In the meantime, I'll just get this wet with the sponge a little. Now we should be good, should be good. Should be ready to separate. Sit that on there. And just, like I said, gently. Yeah, this is gonna come. These are really, oh, this, man, thanks for that tip. Thanks for that tip to use this film. So now I'll be sure to use this film every time on old ones, on old decals, because that was an issue. Because you'll wind up having to get them made all the time, and so that's good there. Good, let me move this one out. Go up about right here. Sorry if I go out of frame, guys. Just trying to make sure I'm looking at this stuff correctly. So about right there looks good compared, yeah. So that one's there, maybe down a little. Down just a little. Yeah, I like it. So now I'll go ahead and, yeah, this one's nice, and it's trimmed right around the Estes logo. This one has a little square around it, but that's fine. This is a flyer. I mean, I'm okay with it. I can live with it. So you can squeegee out excess moisture. By the time I clear coat, you may not even see, or I'm hoping you don't see that mark. But that's that. That's that. Good. Nice and straight. Hold it up for the eye test. Yeah. All right, I'm good. Now I'll just dry, because what you will get as you spread stuff around, you can get some of the glue can get on the model itself. So go ahead and just clear that up real quick. And I do like that I didn't go all the way with the green. It has a nice kind of yellow tint, yellow shine underneath the green. That was a nice little touch, so I'm kind of glad I did that. So now I'm going to trim this one closer. I'm going to trim this name closer now that I know it takes the shape. I'll move the rocket back so you guys can see this. Now that I know it takes the shape of the decal, I'm just going to trim it closer. No points or anything, because points, they can get curled under and folded under. I'm just going to go, other than this corner right here next to the word FIREAERO. So moving on, I'm going to dip this, get it nice and soft, and I'm going to go right about there. I'm going to be really close to the edge, so we should be good. Here we go. Let's go in the water. It's a bigger piece, so as long as it continues to do good as the Estes logos did on the fins, I'll be happy. Still feel a little tight. I'm gonna go back in for a few more seconds. If it feels like it's not freeing itself, just put it back in, give it a few more seconds. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. So we're gonna go ahead, and what I'm gonna do before I do that, I'm gonna wet this area. Just get some water on there using my finger, just a little. And you can go with the sponge and kind of dry them up a little. Don't worry if the rocket get wet, you can dry it off, no big deal. One last dip. All right, let's go for it. Here we go. Move up here so you guys can see. Let's go for it. Oh yeah, it's coming off really good. Oh, see a piece trying to hold on in the back. All right, so I have this back corner's trying to hold on. It's trying to hold on. Oh, and I can see that piece of glue. Uh-oh, might have look like some of the, not glue, the adhesive. See if I can free that. I think it got underneath the decal. All right, let's see what we can do about that. If I can get this under here just to free it. I don't want to rip the decal. Oh, it's stuck on there pretty good. Come on, free. Come on. Go back in the water. Yeah, it was held. It's free, but this tiny little piece is trying to hold on. Look like it's trying to. Oh, I want to bring the whole. I don't want. Oh, I got it. There we go. So it freed, and I don't think it tore. All right. So now the whole thing's free and moving. See how it's just sliding around? This is what you want. You want it nice and loose like that. All right. So here we go. So let's lay this perfectly straight, because you don't want it to be crooked. All right, come on. About a 1/16 of an inch. Right there, looks good. Looks good. And you can always adjust. That's the other thing. Like it's wet enough where you can move it around a little bit if you're crooked. So it's forgiving for now. Ooh, look at that. I think it's near perfect. Near perfect. I may not have to do much. Slightly off, just a hair, which is pretty much, this is perfectly on there. I mean, I don't have to do pretty much anything. Good. Wick away some of this water. It's laying nice and flat. And we have ourselves a rocket. We have a rocket, guys. Drop a comment. That's these rockets. Use my discount. Don't take advantage of it. Use that discount. Get some engines. Rockets. You can't get this rocket because this is vintage, but you can get some other ones. All right, this is laying. Oh yeah, this is good. This is good. So there you have that. You have that. Just 2 decals left, and that's the names. And I'm gonna look. See that little piece? I saw that on there. It was a little section where it was very opaque on the back side of the decal, and that was some of the decal film getting under the decal. It went under. All right, so that is perfect. I'm good with that. Now on to the names. I had to go back and lay these edges down. They wanted to curl up. So I just moistened it again. put a little water under there. They were trying to curl up. And I don't have any of the other. There's the red, I think it's called micro set. It comes with red writing on the bottle. It's a different solution. I think that's for when you want decals that adhere and curve around. It'll go in grooves, and it's real magical stuff. I don't have any more. I ran out a while ago. And be careful. I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing. Don't, like where my thumb is, like be careful not to touch decals because they're still wet, and you can definitely mess something up and move something, or it can come off and be on your fingers. So something to keep in mind when doing decals. All right, let's see if we're free. Oh yeah, very free and ready to go. Oh yeah, this is super ready to go. All right, here we go. So let's get them off here. Let's do it. All right, so he's on. Let's go in position. And when you're doing this, you're comparing it to where the other one is. Of course, you're going to take a look at the other side and make sure they're lined up nicely. Like I can come down. Maybe I might be good. Down just a little. Then I'm checking the distance between that bottom red ring to the F compared to this one. So I'm going to be off camera taking a look at this. Well, actually, I might be as I turn and turn, yeah, just a little. Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, yeah, these are lined up. Yeah, these are lined up pretty good. So now I'll go ahead and take paper towel because the last one started to peel up. We'll keep an eye on that. The edges are known to do that. I need some of that micro set because the micro set, you would paint that on the edges and it will help it. It will soften it up and make it lay down even better. So I just found micro set. It is actually in, I thought it was in red. So there's a different one that's in red. So this is micro set. Setting solution for decals that softens decals and improves adhesion. So this is what I'm going to use because this one is still trying to curl up a little bit. I just wet it again. That side's doing fine, but this first decal with the name is trying to curl up on me. So I'm going to hit it with some of this micro set. And from what I understand, you put it on there on the edges or whatever area, and it should lay down and it shouldn't be an issue. So we're gonna give this a try because it's a decal and decals can give problems. All right, so I'm supposed to put this where the decal is supposed to go. Then I'm gonna brush some on top. So the decal, I'm gonna put some under the edge. I'm gonna just get a small amount under the edge of this decal because this is the one that's gonna probably try to peel up again. So yeah, so let me get this under here. So I'm going right under the edge of the decal. I'm gonna go kind of deep. I'm gonna try to get kind of deep under there. Hopefully you're seeing this because I'm trying to. Because it was these edges that were trying to peel up. So then I'm just going to come back and just paint over top of this like that. And I'm going to flip them around and do the other side. And around this circle, around the letter. And then right around here, yeah, there we go. And then paint. And all the way under, because these things, I've seen decals, they'll peel up. And these are older, so who knows. And then just right over top of the decal, where I'm painting this stuff on, right over the edge. And let it do its thing. I'm trying to not touch the other. Get right under the edge. And then just, sorry, I'm out of frame. I'm out of frame again. Let me move up. All right, so there we go. Let's see if this does what it's supposed to do. Make sure you get it under there. All right. All right, right now I'm just squeegeeing out because I can see some materials underneath there bubbling up. All right, so now I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let that just dry like that and see what it does. Because the other one's fine. It's so weird, like this one, a little, it's coming up a little. Spoke too soon as it's drying. Uh-oh. It's coming up a little bit, so I'll put some on here too. So the film, it went well on top. I mean, it saved them. I think they were old enough where they would have been brittle. It's just these slight corners. Oh yeah, this is really just sticking up. It's like it's still wet, but it's still kind of sticking up. Let's get this under here. How's that side doing? Still kind of wet, so we'll see. All right, so that's that, guys. So I had a little issues with the decals trying to peel up on the edges. These decals anyway, not all the other ones are fine, but this one going in this direction, the name is kind of giving an issue. So we will see how this goes. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so the decals are still peeling up. I don't know, I put the micro set, it's called. I put some of that on there, and I actually got some glue back off the back of the adhesive paper and try to put it under there and see if it'll lay down, but it's still they're still peeling up, so it may end up without names on it, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to give this a shot and see if it'll lay down again. But for right now, this is being, kind of a problem. And these are fine. Those are fine. It seems like the ones that are on these curves, but this is fine. There's rings. Yeah, nothing, no issue there, because that's more of a tighter. Yeah, that's perfect. Where's the edge? Yeah, that laid down perfectly. It's just these ones around this curve. It's like more of a curve for it, I guess. And then the angle's so long, it's more long, elongated. It just wants to peel up. So I'm trying to get it to stay. Doing everything I can to get it to stay. If not, it may not have a name on here. It seems like as it dries, that's when it wants to peel up. All right, guys, so the FIREAERO decal, the name is not going well. I tried what I tried. It's still peeling up. This side, you can see that's way peeled up. So I'm going to end up probably scrapping the name decal. Look at that's just peeling up. It's just not, it's not working out. Not sure why, but these things can happen. I don't know, just the angle, but everything else seemed to went on well, except for this. This one seemed to be holding on a little better, so it's still peeling up on the edge. Yeah, so this may just be a scrap deal. Like, it's kind of dry. I let it sit and dry, but it's just still peeling up. I mean, I can give it one last shot of the micro set, but I think it's just a done deal. Well, that's that. As you can see here, the name decal did not work out. Crumble that up. It's all crumbly and dry, but I did come up with a new scheme, and this is what I did. So I did some silver there, and I did a nice black spiral around here to give the FIREAERO a whole new look. So that's what I'm going with for right now. Well, not for right now. That's the way the rocket is. FIREAERO had to give you a new look because the name decals did not work out. It's a shame because I really did like the rocket the way it looked, but I think this is cool too. So that's it, guys. Model Rocks 321. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Use the discount code over at Estes, Model Rocks 321. And we out.